Around the world, people are busily working, commuting, and living their lives. We are focused on our tasks, but is it really possible that we could be doing things mindlessly? You may not know it, but you've most likely, maybe even every day, come in contact with something called classic conditioning. Classic conditioning can be simply explained as the act of training a being to respond with a conditioned response to a stimulus. Conditioning occurs all around us. When you hear the school bell, you are conditioned to move to your next class. When you teach your dog to sit, you are using classic conditioning. This was first discovered by Ivan Pavlov. Pavlov learned that when a bell is rung each time a dog is fed, the dog will eventually begin to salivate at the sound of a bell, even if the dog hasn't seen the food yet. This experiment inspired one student, Lydia Thurston, to recreate this experiment on her class of 8 other students. Lydia did an experiment on the other 8 kids in her class. Before any other students arrived into the classroom, she placed a Jolly Rancher candy on the empty desk near the door. This process was repeated until the final day, on which no candy was left on the desk. The results were noted. Her hypothesis was that the subject would eventually connect their arrival into the classroom with the reward of candy, and would become confused when the candy was not there because they were previously conditioned to expect the candy. The experiment played out as follows. Day 1. The subjects immediately noticed the candy and had a short fight over who should get the candy. Finally, one subject took the candy. On day 2, one subject immediately noticed the candy and grabbed it. The subjects were surprised and excited to find another candy. On day 3, one subject was amazed to see another candy. On day 4, one subject runs into room screaming about the Jolly Rancher. On day 5, the subject pocketed the candy. On the final day, day 6, the candy was purposely not placed on the desk. The subject entered the classroom, looked around, and verbalized confused. As you can see, the main subject became conditioned to seeing and eating the candy. But, when the candy was absent, the subject expected it to be there, but it was not, and the subject was confused and disappointed. The process of conditioning can be explained as so. Before conditioning, subject walks into classroom not expecting candy. After conditioning, subject walks into classroom and expects candy. In conclusion, Lydia's hypothesis was correct. It has been proven, according to this experiment, that it is possible to condition a middle school child using candy in under 1 week.